Hello, this is our last lesson in our packet, and please make sure that you are on page 9. Today we're going to be interpreting a box and whisker plot. So for questions 1 through 5, refer to the box and whisker graph below, which shows the test results of math class. So test scores in percents for 9th period. So as we investigate this, we can see the numbers down below. And the first question is, what is the high score on the test? So the highest point, also known as the upper extreme, would be 102. Question 2, what percent of the class scored above a 72? So if you recall from yesterday's lesson, each part of this is 25%. So this represents 25% of the data. This is another 25% of the data. This section is 25% of the data, as well as this. So we're looking at 25% here, 25% here, 25% here, and 25% here. Since this question said above 72, we're going to include all of those percentages. So we were adding all of these percentages. 25 plus 25 plus 25 is 75%. Our next question, what is the median score on the test? So the median is also known as the second quartile. First quartile, second quartile, and that is 88. Fourth question, what percent of the class scored between 88 and 96? So they ask percent again. And if you recall, each one of these sections is 25%. So that would be 25%. Question 5, do you think this test was too hard for students? Explain. So as we look at this, 75% scored 72% or above on the test. So I'd like your opinion. Please write and explain what your opinion is on the lines below. So please pause the video, write your explanation, and then continue on to the next questions. For questions 7 through 10, refer to the box and whisker graph below that shows how much time was spent per night on homework for sophomore class at a certain high school during September. So the average minutes per night spent on homework, and here's our box and whisker plot. The first question says, what percent of sophomores spent more than 60 minutes on homework per night? So more than 60 minutes. So here's 60 minutes, and this would be more. So once again, if we recall that each one of those sections is worth 25%, from here to here would be 25%. Question 8. What is the range of times that the middle 50% of sophomores spend on homework per night? So you notice that they use the word range, and they're referring to the middle 50%, which means we're referring to the data in this box. Again, it's 25% in this first quarter and 25% in the second. So middle 50%. We're actually talking about the interquartile range. And 20 is the lowest amount of time, and 60 is the highest. And so what we want to find out is the range. So we take the highest number, which is 60, and we're going to subtract the lowest number, which is 20, within this range, this 50%, and the answer would be 40 minutes. Question 9. How many sophomores do not do homework? Well, we can't really tell that. We can see that from the beginning, the lowest amount of homework, someone does 0 minutes, spends 0 minutes on homework, but someone spends 20 minutes. So these are in this range. The 25% of the students that were surveyed spend between 0 and 20, but we can't say how many sophomores do not do homework. So we're going to write can't tell. So finally, our last question, number 10, what percent of the sophomores spend less than 20 minutes per night on homework? So once again, if we go up and look at the graph, this first part, this first whisker, if you recall, has 25% of the data from here to here. And so 20% or less, or 20 minutes or less would be 25%. And that completes our lesson today.